Kind Mind Charity, the Animal Shelter. This is a story about a volunteer at an animal shelter who discovers that charity is not pity for someone who seems broken. It is a way of seeing beyond present behavior to the wholeness another may not yet recognize in themselves. Gentle Paws Animal Shelter was rarely gentle. Dogs barked, cats climbed shelves. A one-eyed parrot repeated whatever it overheard, usually at the worst possible moment. Rabbits shuffled bedding while 3 rescued goats tested the fence as if escape were their full-time occupation. Mira volunteered every Saturday because she wanted to help. She carried blankets, washed bowls, brushed fur, and spoke tenderly to every frightened animal. "Oh, you poor thing," she whispered to a trembling dog. "You've suffered so much," she told an old rabbit. "We'll fix you," she promised a scarred cat. Elena, the shelter manager, often heard her, but said nothing. One afternoon, a violent storm rolled over town. Thunder shook the windows, dogs began barking wildly, cats disappeared beneath blankets. The parrot screamed, "Everybody panic!" A gray rescue horse in the outside paddock began pacing in circles. Mira rushed everywhere at once. "Calm down, you're safe. Everything is all right." But Mira was not calm, and somehow the animals seemed to know it. Finally, she cried, "Why can't I help them?" Elena walked beside her to the horse paddock. Rain hammered the roof. "What do you see?" Elena asked. "A terrified horse." "Anything else?" Mira looked again. "What else is there?" Elena rested her hands on the gate. "Strength, innocence, life, a being temporarily frightened by a storm. But he is afraid. Yes. Charity does not deny what seems to be happening, but it also does not make fear the whole truth about someone." Mira became still. Elena continued, "Pity says, 'You poor broken thing, I, who am stronger, will rescue you.' Charity sees differently. It recognizes that another may need help while also seeing beyond their present condition." Thunder cracked again. The horse jumped. Elena did not. After several quiet minutes, the horse stopped pacing. Mira stared at her. "How did you do that?" "I stopped joining the fear." They returned inside and stopped beside Bruno, a large dog who had been adopted once and returned. Whenever visitors approached, he backed into the corner. Mira whispered, "Poor Bruno. Nobody wants him." Elena looked at her. "There. You did it again." "Did what?" "You turned an experience in time into an identity." Mira looked toward Bruno. "He was returned. That happened. But nobody wants him, is your interpretation. If you keep seeing him as rejected, you may offer affection while strengthening the very picture you want to heal." Elena sat quietly several feet from the kennel. No baby talk, no reaching through the bars, no demand that Bruno become different. She simply waited. Bruno slowly approached. His tail moved once, then again. Mira smiled. Elena said, "Sometimes charity means looking at another as though they have already gone far beyond what they presently seem capable of." "So I pretend they're healed?" "No. You refuse to make their current limitation final." That sentence stayed with Mira. She began moving through the shelter differently. She brushed the old rabbit without seeing helplessness. She fed abandoned kittens without making abandonment their identity. She cleaned the parrot's cage while it announced, "Everybody panic!" Mira laughed. "Not today." Then she sat beside a Skarsgård dog who growled whenever anyone came close. Her first thought was, "Poor thing." She caught it. Instead, she became quiet. "There is something in you beyond what I am seeing now." Nothing dramatic happened. The dog still growled, yet Mira noticed that her own fear had softened. She suddenly understood why healing another could heal both. Every time she refused to imprison someone inside yesterday's story, she loosened her own attachment to stories about herself. The shelter became her classroom. Some animals improved quickly. Others did not. Some were adopted. Some remained. Charity was not measured by whether appearances changed on schedule. Months later, Bruno was adopted by an older man named Samuel. Mira watched Bruno walk toward the parking lot, then suddenly turn and race back to her. He pressed his head against her leg. Mira knelt and hugged him. For a moment, she remembered the frightened dog hiding in the corner. Then she saw the animal standing before her now. Elena smiled. "Quite a difference." Mira shook her head. "Maybe the real difference is that I finally stopped deciding what he was." That evening, she walked through the quiet shelter. She understood now that charity was temporary, because it belonged to a world where someone could still appear to need help. Yet within it was a reflection of something much greater. A love that did not measure anyone by accomplishments, mistakes, wounds, or time. Charity was not, "You poor thing." It was, "I will not use what you seem to be going through to forget what you truly are." And the miracle of seeing another that way shortened suffering for both of them. From one kennel, the parrot suddenly called, "Everybody panic!" Mira laughed. "No, thank you." Then she turned off the lights, carrying a kinder interpretation with her. "May we sing, rest, and dance our way home together.